Hello and welcome. This is Bhaskar Napte from Pharma Growth Hub, and today we are going to talk on cleaning validation. We will try to understand at least five important key terms which are related to the cleaning validation. So let us begin with the very first term, and it is acceptable daily exposure or ADE. So if you look at the cleaning validation recommendations proposed by ISPE or EMA or APIC, you will find that the dose-based approach is revised to the health-based approach. That is called as health-based exposure limit approach to define the MACO or maximum allowable carryover. Now, the health-based exposure limit or HBEL can be expressed in terms of the acceptable daily exposure or the permitted daily exposure. So we'll try to understand first the definition of acceptable daily exposure, and here is the definition. A dose that is unlikely to cause an adverse effect if an individual is exposed by any route. It could be oral route or intravenous or maybe onto the topical route, at or below this dose every day for a lifetime. Means, let us say you say that the acceptable daily exposure of the compound is, for example, 15 micrograms per day. 15 micrograms per day. So, irrespective of the route of administration, could be oral, could be intravenous, could be topical. If the 15 microgram of the substance is given on daily basis, that particular dose is not going to create any adverse effect, right? So 15 microgram becomes the acceptable daily exposure for that specific compound, and based on to the acceptable daily exposure you can define the maximum allowable carryover or MACO. So this is the first important definition. The second definition is about acceptable limit. So what is the definition of the acceptable limit now? Maximum acceptable residue that is allowed to be carried over and considered safe. So maximum acceptable residue means it also can be called as the MACO or maximum allowable carryover. So what is that maximum residue that can be carried over to the next product, which will be safe for the consumption, and that is connected to something called as the acceptable daily exposure. So MACO is always going to be defined based on to the acceptable daily exposure or maybe by the permitted daily exposure. So this is the second important term as far as cleaning validation is concerned. Let us now understand the third important term as far as the cleaning validation is concerned, and that is the alert level or alert limit. So first try to understand the definition of alert level or alert limit. A parameter set by user that when exceeded gives an early warning of a drift from normal operational conditions, a drift from normal operation conditions, and should result in increased attention or corrective action. So whenever you define some expectation out of your cleaning verification, for example, let us try to understand the trend of your cleaning verification for last 30 activities. And let us say, no, this is your the average cleaning verification result, and you understand that your cleaning verification result are always, for example, in the range of this could be, let us say, 20 micrograms per swab lower, and the highest result is always around, let us say, 40 micrograms per swab. And your acceptable residue limit, your ARL, let us assume to be less than 100 microgram per swab. This is your ARL or acceptable residue limit. And this is your cleaning verification performance. Always your results are in between 20 to 40 microgram per swab. They are very much below your acceptable residue limit. So you can define the alert level. According to your data, you can fix that, okay, now my alert level is going to be, let us say, 50 microgram per swab, right? Your alert level is what? 50 microgram per swab. You know that my all results according to the trend previous data can go as high as 40 microgram per swab. So comfortably, I must meet the 50 microgram per swab, and that is going to become now my alert level or alert limit. So for future cleaning verification activities, if the residue level goes goes above 50 microgram, let us say 55 microgram or maybe 60 microgram per swab. So those event has to be investigated because your residue has gone above your alert level or alert limit. It has not crossed your acceptable residue limit yet, which is 100 micrograms per swab. But this has actually crossed your alert level or alert limit, and hence you have to investigate what is the reason behind such a higher values of 55 to 60 microgram per swab, where your earlier data were in between 20 to 40 micrograms per swab. So this is one important term as far as defining the specification for your residue is concerned. Let us try to understand the next term now, and it is action limit or action level. Let us understand the definition first. So here is the definition of action limit or action level. I intentionally try to show the definition of both this term, that is alert level as well as the action limit. Let us understand the definition of action limit now. A parameter set by the user when exceeded requires immediate intervention, including investigation of cause and corrective action. So in the last example, we talked about the trend data. Isn't it? We talked about the trend data, and we considered the few of your last cleaning validation, cleaning verification, and we understand that our data consistently lies in between 20 microgram per swab until 40 microgram per swab. And during the last point, alert level discussion, we defined our alert level is, let us say, 50 microgram per swab. Now you can have one more layer to your specification, which is acceptable residue limit should be less than 100 microgram per swab. So this is your actual acceptable limit for this swab. This is the first level specification, which is the alert level or alert limit. This is called as the alert level. Now there's one more specification that can be, let us say, action limit. So what is your action limit? So let us say you said, oh, 75 or 70 microgram per swab is my action limit. Is my action limit. So as long as your results are below 70 microgram per swab, they are called as below the action limit. Now there are two specifications we talked about. This is called as the alert level. Let me write in full form the alert level, which is the first level of the specification, which is 50 microgram. So the action limit can be little higher than the alert level, but should be less than your acceptable residue limit. As long as the residue content is below action limit, you need not to worry about any corrections. But as long as they cross the action limit, then you have to investigate for the cause. So what is the cause? Is it the personal error, human error, or is there any another deviations happen during the cleaning process, or is there any analytical issues? So those investigation has to be conducted to define the corrective action, and if required, if preventive action also. So these are the very two important terms which are related to define the cleaning verification specification. We'll talk about the fifth term now, and that is called as agitated immersion. A cleaning system in which the manufacturing equipment is placed in the cleaning solution and the cleaning solution is agitated, usually with the existing agitation equipment in that equipment. Now, to explain this term, let me take the example of a tank now. So, let us assume that this is our tank. This is our tank. And this tank is having an impeller. Right? This tank having an impeller. Let us say this is the impeller. So what is the agitated immersion? So while cleaning this particular tank, you are going to pour the solution inside the tank, cleaning agent, uh, detergent, etc., according to your cleaning process, and then you can actually agitate this cleaning solution or cleaning agent by the impeller. Right? This is the cleaning agent or cleaning solvent. What do you call it? Cleaning solvent. And this is the impeller. So once you rotate this, this is called as the agitated immersion. This is the immersion of the cleaning solvent inside this particular tank. Right? A cleaning system in which the manufacturing equipment is placed in the cleaning solution and the cleaning solution is agitated, usually with the existing agitation equipment in that equipment, is called as the agitated immersion. I hope you are clear with this all five important terms related to the cleaning validation, and we will meet in the next video. Thank you so much.